Welcome to One on One with Mitch Lafon, and joining me on this episode from the band Gotthard, it is singer Nic Maeder. We talk about the new album Silver and their 25th anniversary tour. Now, Gotthard is a band out of Switzerland, and they are one of my absolute favorites. Unfortunately, not known in North America, but hopefully by having Nic on and exposing fans to the band, you will help me change that, because this band deserves to be heard. And the new album, Silver, is absolutely fantastic. I not only got it, but I went out and paid for, out of my own pocket, for the Japanese version, because it has 3 bonus tracks. So please do yourself a favor, do me a favor, pick up Silver by Gotthard. And if you want to find out more about the band, head over to gotthard.com, gotthard.com. And, of course, please, before checking out Gotthard, check me out on Twitter at Mitch Lafon, MITCHLAFON, and One-on-One Mitch Lafon on Facebook. And if you want, of course, to support the podcast, head over to paypal.me/Mitch Lafon. And with all of that, it is time to get into this interview. Here is the one, the only, from the band Gotthard, one of my favorites, singer Nic Maeder. We are speaking with lead singer Nic Maeder from the band Gotthard, one of my favorite bands. Of course, folks in North America don't get to enjoy Gotthard as much as they should. Always a pleasure, Nic.
Yeah, it is. How you doing?
Good. So we're here to talk about the new album, Silver. Now, of course, I'm a big fan of putting my money where my mouth is, so I bought the version from Japan because it's important to support your artist. But
thank you.
A third album with the band. Were you more involved in its creation, more sort of vision in terms of the vision you wanted, or tell me a little bit about putting it together and what the band was trying to do with this album?
No, well, I mean, it's pretty much the same. I've always been very involved in the songwriting process with the guys since I joined the band. But it's it's actually funny. We normally would do an album every 2 years. We do a touring year and an album making year, and this time around we just kind of I suppose with the stress and the pressure from the first 2 albums that we did together and the first 2 tours and all this stuff, with all the kind of the circumstances, the way that the whole thing happened. So we just kind of needed to relax a little bit, and not sort of jump into making an album without really feeling the excitement, So we kind of delayed it by a year and just did a few festivals and just kind of enjoyed it a bit more, I suppose. Just took it easy a bit, and then we just really got into it and really felt the need to make an album, So and at that point we just kind of sat down and the same songwriting team that we usually do, with the 2 other guitarists, Leo and Freddie. And usually, the 3 of us just kind of, sit down, bring our ideas and get all the music sort of done, and then I'll go off and do lyrics and stuff. So we pretty much did exactly the same process that we always do. And it's a funny thing too, because a lot of people were sort of, some of the feedbacks that we got from this album, people saying, it's a kind of really represents the 25 years of Gotthard, and it's got, as if we kind of planned it in a way, which of course actually we didn't at all. I mean, we had no idea. We just went in and kind of pressed the reset button, as you do when you go in to make an album. We just kind of like starting from scratch again, and it just kind of turned out this way.
Being your third album with the band, how do you consider it or compare it to Bang and the album before that? Do you see a progression, or is it just it's all Gotthard music and that's what we do best?
I mean, I think the first album when I joined, obviously we had a pretty clear idea, and we really wanted to go back to the roots and have a pretty sort of raw sounding album, and I think after that on the second album we kind of with the Bang album we really just kind of let loose a bit and kind of experiment, I suppose, a lot more with orchestras and things, and just and I suppose even just the types of songs, and And then now with the Silver album, I think we even, did that even more, in a sense. We really, really didn't set any rules at all, I mean, we've always got, because, the guitarist Leo, he's always co-producing the album, so he always kind of makes sure that whatever we're doing sounds like Gotthard. He's really responsible for keeping it sounding like the band. But that's kind of more in the production sense. But I think it seems to be that every album we do, we just kind of just kind of let things happen and I suppose experiment a bit more every time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And listen, the results have been stellar. I discovered the band sort of later on in the band's career, and I just find that the albums that you've made with them are very, very unique, and they stand up and they stand the test of time. They're really well put together. Now, you did mention the sort of the tragic situation that brought you to the band. As the years go by, and of course we can never forget Steve Lee. He is one of the most unsung heroes of rock. I mean, an incredible voice. Do you find that the fan base itself, though, has changed? I mean, were they at first going, hey, he's not Steve, and now, oh, hey, he's his own? Like, is it just a more comfortable situation at this point?
I mean, obviously, when we did, when I first joined and we did the first album, we had no idea whether it was going to be the, the last one, or we really had no idea. And to be here now doing the third one, I mean, this is just amazing, and I mean, this is one thing about this band. I mean, the fans are just so loyal. I mean, they're amazing. We were just so lucky, I think, that. I mean, when I joined, they were so encouraging, and for some reason they accepted me in this kind of family that it is, and I'm very, very lucky, and I mean, really, it's all just because of them that we're still here doing it, you know. So,
but do you put any pressure onto yourself? Do you feel like, oh my God, this vocal is not up to the Steve level? Oh my God, I gotta. Do you have any of that pressure, or you just sort of do what you do, and it's like, hey, listen, I'm just a singer. I'm doing the best I can.
I mean, but that's exactly what you do. I mean, right. that's all you can do. I mean, it's I've always just kind of not thought about that stuff too much, and I mean, of course, some people are gonna compare. Some people are gonna prefer one to the other. You're gonna hear. I mean, I've heard it all. Believe me.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not trying to compare it. In fact, I think that you bring an incredible uniqueness to the band, and I think your vocals are absolutely fantastic. And you know what? I would say the exact same thing about Steve. He was exceptionally unique and exceptionally
absolutely.
Fantastic. So, Maeder.
I mean, I was a fan myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You were in a band before, Maeder, with your brother Sebastian, and you've done other recordings. Is sort of Gotthard where you want to see yourself forever and always, or do you still have that want and desire to have your own side band, side project, solo album, or is it like, you know what, let's just focus and do one thing and do it great?
I mean, that's one of the things. I'm actually not very good at multitasking, and I tend to really need to focus on one thing at a time, and I mean, it's just so busy with this band. There's always something that we need to do, whether it's writing, recording, doing promo interviews, radio stuff, doing video clips, photo shoots, and then doing all the shows. And I mean, there's always something there, I mean, there's never 5 minutes. I mean, even we were talking about it the other day. Actually, it's just to get even a run of 2 weeks where you can go on vacation or something is just nearly impossible. There's always days here and there, whatever, but it's to get a couple of weeks in a row just to go and go off and do something is just almost impossible. So I don't see myself doing anything really at the moment. Songwriting. I've always got a lot of stuff, and I'm always writing a hell of a lot, and and there's probably a lot of things that I do that wouldn't, probably work with this band. So it's in that sense. But I mean, at the moment, I really don't see myself doing anything else, or on the side even.
Yeah, which is good. Stay focused. We like you where you are. At least I do. So let's look at the band's 25-year history. Well, in fact, let me talk about touring in North America. The band doesn't get over here nearly enough, or in fact, ever.
Yeah,
right?
I think ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? You come from an outside perspective. You weren't there in the beginning, so you could sort of look at it more subjectively. Why do you think the band is just not able to get over to North America, and how do you think that can change? And is that something that the band is hoping to change?
I mean, there's always the hope, but I think, it is a very difficult one. I know that at the time when the band, came out, I mean, the first album was like in '92, I think. So, I mean, it was just when all the grunge thing was happening and blah 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 blah. So, America, it just wouldn't have kind of obviously didn't work or didn't take off or anything, but it seemed to in Europe, and they spent years and years really building Europe up, and could never kind of catch a break in America. And I think they just gave up on America in that sense. They just thought, well, it's working here, everything's working well here, and we tried and tried and tried, it didn't work. So now we're just going to, and the problem is now is having 25 years of a fan base in Europe. I suppose to come and really take on America now would be a huge, a really, really big investment, both financially and it takes years to really do it here, or to do it in America properly. So, so I can understand why at one point they probably just kind of gave up on America, but I mean, there's still that, North America is still working quite well, and that's always a lot of fun as well. But I suppose in a sense, there's nothing wrong with, enjoying the territories that you do have that are working. I don't know.
And you'd also have to scale it back, right? You'd go from arenas and bigger venues in Europe, and then you'd have to come here and play a club for 150. And I guess, after 25 years, who really wants to do that, right? You want to stay at the level you're at. So let's talk the 25th anniversary. You're going to head out with Pretty Maids, another great classic band with their own 20-year career and who have these issues with North America. What can we expect on the tour for the fans in Europe that are going to go see it? Are you doing sort of a set list that's going to cover all 25 years and pull out a few gems? Or is it like, here's our 10 greatest hits. Thank you, folks. Enjoy them.
Well, it's exactly what you said. We're literally at the moment we're looking at the back catalogue, and we've been going back to all the albums, basically back to the first album, and really just trying to put together a show, and it's quite hard because obviously after 25 years there are the classic Gotthard tunes that we have to play. And that we enjoy playing as well, but I mean, if half of those songs, if we didn't play them, people would get really pissed off, So we're sort of left with probably half of the set is already there that we, all the stuff that we have to play. So it leaves not a hell of a lot of space to, because then there's 3 albums with me, so there's songs we need to do from there as well. So it really starts to kind of limit you in what you can do. So we've kind of gone back and worked out a few little medleys and things, and just trying to somehow bring as many songs as we can, and songs that the band haven't played in 20 years. So some even songs that the band have never played. So it's definitely going to be something pretty special for the fans, particularly for the fans that have been following the band since the beginning. It's going to be a real treat for them.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, that's just the electric stuff. The band has done a number of acoustic shows and then a couple of acoustic live albums that are so great that I would take the entire set list and have you do it both electric and acoustic and keep fans entertained all night. So,
well, there's exactly. I mean, there's quite a few acoustic things that we kind of jamming around with as well. So, yeah.
Leone, one of the greatest guitarists that, and again, I hate to harp on the fact that North America doesn't know this, but the guy is the Swiss version of Zakk Wylde, or Zakk Wylde's the American version of Leo. I mean, he's just so wonderful. Talk to me about Leo and what it is to play with a guitarist at such a high level, and working with him, and just talk to me about Leo for a bit.
Well, he's. I mean, I met him, literally when I came down to audition for the band, and it just so happened that as I was coming down, I because I was living in Australia at the time, and I went to visit my family in Switzerland, and I think it was like a Monday I was supposed to be down to meet up with the guys, and everyone in my family, they were all sick. They all had the flu and everything. And I thought, oh God! And it was like a Friday, and I thought, God, on Monday I've got to be at this audition. I'm probably going to be sick and everything. So I thought, oh look, I'm just going to head down and visit this Ticino, which is the Italian speaking side of Switzerland, which is kind of the most southern point. It's kind of like the Florida of Switzerland. That's where the band lives. That's where we're based. And I mean, he was great. I just kind of met him, for the weekend, and we ended up spending the whole weekend together. And I met all his friends and all his stuff. And so before we'd even started the audition, we already kind of got drunk together, and just kind of really just spent a weekend together. And so he was just somebody who was really, really welcoming, and then we really kind of hit it off straight away, and within these audition processes we started writing some songs together as well, and one of the songs that we wrote together was this which actually we recorded for the Firebirth album, which was the Where Are You, which was this tribute song for Steve Lee, and so we kind of went right at the beginning. We kind of went through these pretty heavy, intense moments just after really knowing each other for only a couple of months, sort of thing. So. And you're right. He's he's got a really good vision of what the band should sound like, and what the band is, the identity, the whole thing. I mean, he's really very determined and really has this kind of just the real idea of how it should sound, and which is why he kind of he's always co-producing and I mean in songwriting too, we're I mean actually all of us have kind of different tastes, so we kind of have to always make sure that all three of us as main songwriters are happy, and then which can take a while. And but he's always the one that kind of will steer the song in a way that stays true to the band, if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense, and his tone is just so incredible. Just the sound of his guitar is so incredible. I love what he does. Another guitarist, since you're talking about Australia, that you had a chance to do a few shows with was former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick. And how was that working with Bruce? Because, at the time, and I don't want to put you down, but you were more of a rookie. You were sort of getting into the scene. And here you're playing with a guy who had been in Kiss for many years. What, if anything, in terms of work ethic, in terms of just experience, did you get from a guy like Bruce Kulick?
I mean, it was great. He was, legendary guy and really, really nice guy. And I mean, we didn't do that much. We just did, I think it was 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah, 2 or 3 shows. Right. But still,
got
to hang around for 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah, no,
kind of cool
great.
with Bruce.
It's great. Absolutely great experience. Actually, I ran into him. He was in Australia. He came to Switzerland About a year ago, I think, and we got together and had a burger and a good chat and everything. So it was really nice to run into him. But really nice guy, absolutely.
Were you a Kiss fan at all?
I wasn't actually. It's funny when in high school, it was the two camps. You had the ACDC camp and the Kiss camp, and they always used to fight. So no, I wasn't.
You're more of an AC/DC guy, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In terms of the rest of the year, where do you see the band going? What is sort of the schedule that you have in mind? Is it do this 25th anniversary tour and then just book shows up until 2018, 2019 either? Or is it like, let's do this till December, let's get back into the studio and let's have another one next? Sort of what's the sort of the game plan as we're speaking today?
Well, I think, at this point, now that we're finally out of the studio, we're kind of itching to get out there and start playing. So it's we've got our tour starting on the 9th of February, and after that it's the summer festivals, and then at the end, I don't think they've booked anything yet, but we're probably looking at, because usually then that's when we'd be doing South America and Japan, and then probably the year after that we'll keep playing a bit more. Not too sure. I know that we've got there are some acoustic things that we're talking about for 2018, but that's still
make sure you record those and make sure you make them available for sale, because I'm definitely buying it. Well, there you go. So, of course, Silver is the new album. It is just... The band just keeps getting better and better and better, and I really mean that seriously.
Well, thank you.
The band is just from, I guess, what was it, like you said, 92 or whatever, the first one to now.
Yeah.
There you go. Great pleasure speaking with you, and we should definitely do this again. And we got to get you over to North America. That's my goal.
Absolutely. We would love it. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
And there you have it, folks, my interview with Gotthard singer Nic Maeder. The new album is Silver. Do yourself a favor. Check it out. I have been driving around with it in the car. It is absolutely splendid. Head over to Gotthard.com for more about the band, and at Mitch Lafon, MITCHLAFON on Twitter for more about me. Also, paypal.me/Mitch Lafon, should you care to support the podcast. And with that, I bid you a fond farewell. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye for now. Oh my.